A plane progressive wave can be represented by this equation y equal to a e to the power I kx minus omega t. This is a exponential function. So a plane progressive wave can be represented by this exponential function. But according to de Broglie, a particle is represented by a wave packet. If a particle is represented or described by a wave packet, then this plane progressive wave can be written as psi equal to summed over a k e to the power I kx minus omega t in the same form, that is same in the same exponential form. But if it is a particle is represented by the wave packet, then this wave equation can be written in this sum form. Here a, this is called the amplitude. The amplitude is a function of k. K is the wave vector, and here omega is your angular frequency, and your wave vector k is equal to twice pi divided by lambda. Lambda is your wavelength, and kx minus omega t, this factor, this is called the phase. And I have told you in the previous video about phase. Phase means it is nothing but a wave vector. That means if you represent the wave in terms of a vector, then it is called the phase. And we know the relation between angular frequency and linear frequency. Omega is equal to twice pi nu. So if you represent this wave packet, that is psi, in terms of integration, you can change. I have told you when you change the summation into integration in the previous video. So if you change this summation into integration, then the equation will be psi, that is equal to integration a e to the power I kx minus omega t dk. In the whole equation, either you write psi, the wave function, with xt, that means the wave function is a function of the position coordinate x and time coordinate t. But here in this expression, I have represented psi xt as psi. Similarly, the amplitude, this is also a function of your wave vector. So I have written ak in the whole expression. I have used ak as a. So this equation 1 is the equation for the wave function for the wave packet. And taking the partial derivative of equation 1 with respect to t, we will get partial derivative means we will take the derivative of the function partially. Suppose we want to find out the partial derivative of this function with respect to t, then you see here we will take the derivative of this function only of this part, that means of omega t. So if you take the partial derivative, it will be equal to del psi upon del psi upon t, that means derivative of the wave function with respect to t. And for the right hand side, it will be equal to a e to the power I kx minus omega t and dk. And what will be the derivative of this function? And this will be equal to minus I omega. You take the partial derivative of this one. Suppose this is equation number 2. And if you take the partial derivative of equation 1 with respect to x, then you will take the derivative of this part, that is I kx. So its partial derivative will be equal to del psi upon x, that will be equal to integration a e to the power I kx minus omega t dk, and partial derivative of this will be equal to I k. And if you take the second derivative of this equation, then it will be equal to second derivative of psi with respect to x, that will be equal to integration a e to the power I kx minus omega t. For second derivative, again you take the derivative of this part, that will be equal to I k. Here you have I k, so it will be equal to I square k square. I square is equal to minus 1, so that will be equal to minus k square. So this is equation number 3. Now you multiply both sides of equation 2 by I h cross. You see the equation 2, if you multiply both sides of this equation I h cross, then the left hand side will be equal to I h cross del psi by del t, and the right hand side will be equal to how much? It will be equal to, you see here you have minus I omega. So if you multiply I h cross, then I square will be equal to minus 1, so it will be equal to plus, and h cross multiplied by omega. So this will be the equation 4. So I h cross del psi by del t is equal to integration a e to the power I kx minus omega t dk, and this will be equal to h cross omega. So suppose this is equation number 4, and you now multiply both sides of equation 3, this equation, by h cross square divided by twice m. So the left hand side will be equal to h cross square divided by twice m, second derivative of psi with respect to x square, this one, and the right hand side will be equal to, you have this factor, and you multiply minus k square with h cross square divided by twice m. So it will be equal to minus h cross square k square divided by twice m. Suppose this is equation number 5. Now you multiply the potential function in equation 1, in both sides of equation 1. So this will be equal to, if you multiply v here, v multiplied by the function psi, and multiplied v also this side. So you multiply the potential function v, you multiply minus v. So multiply minus v, minus of the potential, and potential is a function of x, that is the position. So if you multiply minus v this side, left hand side of equation 1, this will be equal to minus v psi, and your right hand side, this was in the right hand side, and you multiply minus v. I have omitted x, you may write x, but I have omitted here. But you should know that the potential is a function of position, that is x. Suppose this is equation number 6. So now you add equation 4, 5 and 6. So what is in equation 4? You see in equation 4 you have I h cross del psi by del t, this factor, and in 5 you have h cross square divided by twice m del square psi by del x square, second derivative of psi with respect to x, and in equation 6 you have minus v psi. So if you add the three equations, it will be equal to minus h cross del psi and derivative of psi with respect to t plus h cross square divided by twice m, second derivative of psi with respect to x, minus v psi, and this will be in the right hand side, and this factor integration a e to the power I kx minus omega t dk. This is in the three equation, that is 4, 5 and 6. So you can take common this factor. You can see in equation 4 and 5 you have these two factors, same factor, this factor, and you have to take common h cross omega from 4 and from 5 minus h cross square k square divided by twice m. So in the right hand side you have h cross omega minus h cross square k square divided by twice m minus v, and suppose this is equation 7. Now see this factor, that is your h cross omega minus h cross square k square by twice m minus v, this factor will be equal to 0. See how this factor will be equal to 0. We know the total energy of a particle is given by the sum of the potential energy and kinetic energy. Kinetic energy here p square by twice m and potential energy is Vx. But from Einstein's relation we know the energy that E is the total energy, and from Einstein's relation we know the total energy E is equal to how much? That is equal to h cross omega, because we know E equal to h nu and nu is equal to omega divided by twice pi. So what will be if we multiply omega divided by twice pi here, it will be equal to h divided by twice pi into omega, and h cross is equal to h divided by twice pi. So E will be equal to h cross omega. So for the energy in the left hand side, you may write E equal to how much? H cross omega. Now let us see what will be p square divided by twice m. So what will be P? That is the momentum. From de Broglie relation we know momentum P is equal to h cross k. Is not it? Because from de Broglie relation we know lambda is equal to h by p. So P will be equal to how much? H divided by lambda. And what will be if you divide 2 pi in the numerator and 2 pi in the numerator here also, denominator. Here you divide in the denominator 2 pi, and also here in lambda you divide 2 pi. So this will be equal to h by 2 pi, and this factor will be equal to h lambda by 2 pi. And h by 2 pi is equal to h cross, and lambda by 2 pi is equal to how much? That is equal to k. Sorry, twice pi by lambda is equal to k. So what will be equal to lambda by twice pi? So that will be equal to 1 by k. So it will be equal to, if you take k to the numerator, it will be equal to k. So h cross k. So P will be equal to h cross k. So what will be equal to p square? In this expression you have p square. So p square will be equal to h cross square k square. So this factor will be equal to h cross square k square divided by twice m and plus v. So if h cross omega will be equal to h cross square k square by twice m plus v, then if you take these two factors to the left hand side, h cross omega minus h cross square k square divided by twice m minus v will be equal to 0. So in right hand side of equation 7, this factor will be equal to 0. So what you will get from equation 7? This left hand side, this factor will be equal to 0. That means I h cross del psi by del t plus h cross square divided by twice m del square psi by del x square minus v psi will be equal to 0. So you see this part, you can take this part left hand side, keep this part in the left hand side, and you can take this part to the right hand side. Okay. So if you take psi outside, then what will be in the bracket? Minus h cross square divided by twice m del square by del x square plus v bracketed psi will be equal to I h cross del y del t psi. Okay. So this equation 9 is called time dependent Schrodinger wave equation. So you may write like this, or you may take psi common and write as I have told you. So this equation gives time dependent Schrodinger wave equation in one dimension under the action of a conservative force. And this equation is very useful for to solve wave equation where the Schrodinger wave equation depends on time. A particle on which no forces are acting, then that particle is considered to be a free particle. If there is no force acting on the particle, then the particle is called a free particle. And for a free particle, the potential, you have no potential, so potential will be equal to 0, V equal to 0. Then equation 9 can be written as I h cross first derivative of the wave function psi with respect to t, that is equal to minus h cross square divided by twice m, second derivative of psi with respect to x. So this is the equation, that is the time dependent Schrodinger wave equation for a free particle, and this is for a conservative force. Now in the next video we will discuss about the solution of the Schrodinger time dependent equation or solution of the time dependent Schrodinger wave equation. Thank you.